Having completed his primary education in the Zilla Parishad School of Kakarparu, he is a graduate in BSc Biology, did his B.Ed from Bandar, and has a diploma in English phonetics from the Central Institute of English and Foreign Languages, Hyderabad. He has worked as a teacher and retired serving as the Mandal Education Officer in the year 2000. But the legacy of teaching has flourished through the years and still continues. Teaching students in various capacities, right from their academic to English, phonetics, and grammar, and even the Vedas, he has been proactively bearing the torch of true mentorship to this day. A teacher is all about the impact their speech and actions have on a student. And therefore, it doesn't come as a surprise that Mr. Vedula is also a great orator and a motivational speaker and has addressed huge crowds being a former member of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Also, being an avid reader, he not just has collected an immaculate pool of ingenuity, but has also contributed in the authorship of the book about the rich history of our village Kakarparu, dated from the 5th century BC. Needless to say, with his immense knowledge and experience, he has and continues to guide people in various walks of life, including me as his own granddaughter. It is only right for a person like him to be with us today and enlighten us about having the right human values and how they shape one's character. It is my honor to welcome you today, sir. Over to you.
Dear children, to introduce myself, I am Venkatrao Vedula. I was born in a small remote village of Andhra Pradesh and never left it even to this day. At the very outset, I am very much beholden for having given me this opportunity to speak a few words about character building and values of life before a group of children who are future engineers of this country. You see, children, listening is of two types. The first one is, that means the first type is through ears and by ears. Listening through ears means receiving sounds through one ear and leaving them through the other. This process is merely involuntary. It needs no attention or concentration. The other type is listening by the ears. That means receiving sounds by one ear and retaining them and keeping them in the memory permanently. In this process, only one ear works, the other ear does not. So it is wise to choose the right one for listening. It means you will keep it in memory and practice it when you find it proper. For example, if you look at a mountain, that will not help you to climb the mountain. If you are interested in climbing mountains means, you should join a club which trains you in mountaineering. You should attend to classes, both theory and practical. You must practice with a determination and conviction every day. Every day you must practice climbing mountains. In the beginning, you may face some failures, but a failure is nothing but a success postponed. Without getting repressed, if you continue the process, putting effort, someday you will receive the right result with precision and with pride. The same way, listening to lectures, moral lectures, does not help you anything. That means you should put the morals, put the truths, and put the concepts that are mentioned in the lectures application. You should apply them in your daily life. You must put both those things in practice every day. That means that only can enrich your personality and character. Though not all the things, the truths and concepts, those are not things, but you have to practice at least one of them. That will enrich your personality. You will find the right result in your future, and you can build a good character by that. One of the marvels of creation is the creation of human brain. This brain is uncovered with a subtle matter, what we call mind. We never know what mind is. It is invisible. We never know it whether it is matter or energy. Even scientists expressed their ignorance and frustration. They put it in a moderate way that never mind if mind is matter, and it doesn't matter if mind is not matter. That is their frustration. But this mind is responsible for as it is the source of thoughts, bunch of thoughts which are ending and endless. And if one thought is satisfied, another comes out. These thoughts are responsible for your future gloom or glory. They are responsible for the wees and wounds in our future life. So, but this mind is the source of these thoughts. You have to check up each and every thought at its very origin. And you have to pause, ponder, cogitate, and then decide whether the thought is right or wrong. And then only you have to resort to action. This thought is very important because if you sow a thought means you reap an action. If you sow an action means you reap a habit. If you sow a habit means you reap a character. If you sow a character means you reap a destiny. Though thought of smoking one day may result in the development of lung cancer the other day. If you regret it at the final stage, it will be of no use. So at the very beginning of the thought, if it is actually checked up, no problem. So you have to check up and you have to select the best thoughts and leave the rest. In this way, you can build up values and build up your personality in your life. For example, here means you have to broaden your mind. You have to invite noble thoughts which will encourage you to noble deeds. Noble deeds will enrich your character and you can lead a meaningful life. Here, I tell you a story. Please remember this story and keep it in your memory. You might have read it somewhere, some book or some lecture. One day, one boy unknowingly stepped on a damp soil, and he was drowning into it. Then he shouted for help, help, help. These shouts were heard by a farmer working in a nearby field. He ran to the boy and rescued his life. Next day, the boy came with his father to that area, and his father was a very rich man. He offered the farmer some money, but the farmer refused to take it. I did my duty as a human being, and I don't like any gifts like this. The rich man begged him, requested him. Almost for 10 days he came to that place and finally asked him that he would pay for the education of his son. And compelled him to agree, requested him to agree for this. And finally the farmer agreed. And the farmer's son was paid for his education by this rich man. And he became a scientist and he discovered penicillin. The rich man's son became a politician and became the defense minister. Sometime he caught pneumonia one day. In those days, pneumonia was a very dangerous disease. And the doctors treated him with this newly discovered penicillin and rescued his life. This farmer's son, was Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin. And that rich man's son, who became the minister, was Winston Churchill, the defense minister of the British Empire, great British Empire. See, if you help your people, if you help your neighbors, if you help your countrymen, the help will come to you in one form or the other someday. So, you must develop kindness, compassion, and love towards fellow beings. You should love them and try to help them. You should broaden your minds. You should broaden your thoughts. You should shed off selfishness and selfish thoughts and motives. You should develop the idea of sacrifice. Improving the sacrificing nature means the quality you will lead a meaningful life, improving your personality and adding values to your character. And suppose you are, you are sitting in an interview let us suppose, and you are given a paper with some questions, and you are asked to answer the questions. The first question is, who is paying for your education? What is the expected answer? You say father, mother, aunt, uncle, etc. But is the fees paid by your parents enough for constructing the building of your college? Is the fees paid by your parents enough to provide you with laboratory and library facilities? Is the fees paid by your parents enough to provide you with the facilities of chairs or tables to sit on? No. But where from your management is getting this money? From the government in the form of grants. Where from the government is getting the money? From taxes. Income tax, commercial tax, sales tax, professional tax, this and that. But where all these taxes are paid by the citizens of your country. So indirectly, every citizen of the country is contributing for your education. Why like that? With a hope that you would come as an engineer in future and serve them. But if you grow to be a corrupt engineer and collecting bribes to improve your own life, how deplorable and despisable that situation would be. Please think it for 10 minutes. So never resort to such things. You should serve the country sincerely, honestly. You should develop the quality of kindness, and you should love your neighbors and your countrymen. That is the only way to improve your quality of life, and that is the only way to add some values to your life. Then you will be remembered. You will be remembered ever. Even after our death, you will be remembered by the people. So that way, you should behave and you should improve your character and habits. So I bless you to grow to be the best citizens, and you should construct a best society and with a nation, strong nation with harmony. Thank you.